change will never come until we change. It will only come when we change. We are in Tanshbantu. The progress of a country is in the hands of the people. That's an important statement for me this tonight in what I'm going to talk about, because I almost feel like helpless when I see what's going on in our country. I read this. What is happening in the country is what happens in Zambia is that, guys, we are killing ourselves. We are the ones who kill our own country. Zambia is being killed by its own citizens. The citizens of Zambia, we are killing our own country. That's why I'm saying change will only come when we change. Doing the same thing over and over again as a country and expecting that there will be a different result is insane and is a reflection of poverty of mindset. We keep repeating. Let me just say, wabula nani kani? Wabula ulafuma bushuguli onse. Kwa sendo olu kasadi na mkuimbe nyense. When you hear nyense, oh, waingisho ukubo kwa kubwendo. You get beaten by something. You go home. You go back with pain. You know, the following day, you get beaten by something. You know, the following day you go with the same tactic, the same means, the same method. You go there. So this time there's a scorpion there. It bites you. You are in pain for 3 days. The next day, you go over there. He said, hey, can I come up with something else? Can I try some other means of doing this? In Zambia, we don't seem to have that ability. We don't seem to have that ability. It's like we've reached the end of the we've reached the end of the road. You know, we are up a creek without a paddle. We've reached the end of the road. It's like we can only think one way. Kuzambi. And when I say we Zambians, I am referring to the country, all of us generally. There are a lot of many enlightened Zambians, very, very smart young people. I watch two guys. But two guys do the quite not to corrow so. Two guys to video and the question not to corrow. I Twitter much if you pena so. But you are going to catch to corrow so. But those kids are much more enlightened than the average Zambian. Extremely enlightened about the way they think about things. It's a mindset that we need to share. If you keep doing the same thing over and over again, you will never do anything. Coach, you have you only play your game the same way. You keep losing. You keep playing the same way. You keep losing. At some point when you've lost so much, even the coach will say, wait a minute, guys. Let's sit back and change our tactics. Guys, the right that we have, the right to vote, the exercise of, universal suffrage, it's not a game. Fellow citizens, it's not a game. It's not a game. It's a matter of killing the country or leaving a country behind that your descendants will be proud of. So it's not a game. If you think that it's a game to simply say, okay, kuvota mukaelemisha kati, oh kuya kuvota, ukavotera banani, oh ngani ngavotera uyu, nisho amvotera uyu, ndio mfofe bwino byebyalanda alikwate chimwela, alikwate chimwela, alikwate muno masuti. It's not a game, people. If we want to change the country, Zambia right now is in a terrible shape, and we are the people that have killed it. 1991. Hey, we want change. The window of change. The window of change. The window of change. To reform a multi-party democracy. To reform a multi-party, so that you can do what with it? MMD came into power after Kaunda decided. It's Kaunda who decided. Kaunda decided to turn the country into a multi-party democracy. He decided. It could not have. He wouldn't have. In fact, what he wanted to do was to stay on a little bit longer so that he can transfer the country and leave it in the hands of young nationalists, young people who put the Zambia at the center of everything. Just like the manifesto of UNIP. The manifesto of UNIP is nationalist. The country comes first. That's what it is. Under pressure, Kenneth Kaunda gave up. He signed. Okay? Now Zambia is in multi-party democracy. The people are very exuberant, they're very ecstatic. What was his plan for the country? He had none. He had no plan for Zambia. No plan. Yeah, this is a government with no plan. Before long, okay, I think we need to privatize these things. All national assets bambokuta privatize. Ero nomba pabafe nisangwapo. Kusampa. Yali fyati kusampa. Uyasenda kwechi. It was like kwakane chinama nabepa echipombo. Or nabepa embo. A buffalo has been killed, now you are sharing it. Efo yali. It was tragic. The national wealth was plundered like I can't imagine during privatization. So after that, complaints still continue. Poverty was. Did we lift people out of poverty? No. A significant majority of Zambians, most Zambians, over 50% are living in poverty. In fact, maybe 70% are living in poverty. Since then, they continue to live in poverty. Nothing changed. Most of Zambians are in rural areas. They are poor, living on less than $2 a day. Now, I want you to think about this. I want you to think 1991, 1996. Constitution. We want to change the constitution. Constitution just to get rid of one man, Kaunda, to prevent him from ever running again. Constitutional change, 1996. 2001, we want to change the constitution because he wanted the third term. To live with. Here is what I'm getting at with this, guys. Here is sincerely where I'm going with this. Waisa Votapadia, Mwanawasa, there was the opposition. I think I don't clearly remember what the opposition was at that time. But Mwanawasa won. But I want to jump forward and tell you how we Zambians think, how we have been doing this over and over again. 2006, the PF was in the game now. The PF was in the game. It was a younger party. It was a smaller party with a clear manifesto, because generally that's how these parties are formed, with a clear manifesto. This is what we want to do for the country, because they saw that the MMD was not delivering, and Sata was used to be in the MMD government. He was Minister of Local Government, a very effective Minister of Local Government. Then he came to be the Minister of Health. Wherever he went, he changed things. When he became the Minister of Health, new hospitals, he would just show up. Is this how you run a hospital? Where's the director of the hospital? I'm coming back next month. Let me not find this. Hospitals changed overnight. You go into a hospital, am I still in Monze? Am I still in Mongo? When he was in local government, there was cleanliness. Lusaka was clean. Nobody was speeding around anyhow. You'd get punished for that. There was a fine for that. Everything, if you go Wamia and all that stuff, it was very effective. And he said, and he saw the potential of doing a lot more with the power of the presidency. He created his own party. Uyu Umusungu Asaloresha, Guy Scott, saw it in him. I want you guys to follow me very carefully with where I'm going with this. I want you to follow me very carefully. Guy Scott saw something in him. This guy wants to do this and this and this and this. Abasungu, let me tell you something. Abasungu tabingira fe mufya pupa. That's the truth. It's the truth, guys. I don't mean to offend anybody, and that's why I'm going to use my local language, my own language. Our language. It's not my language here. But I'm going to use paper. Abasungu tabengira fe mufya bupupa. Abasungu ngabayingira mu fintu. Nishinawa muna value. And there are two types of these people. Abafuma kunse ya chalo, ama foreigners. Baisa kuzambia. Kuzambia tapati chitiko choba defo akoje fya popa. The country is mismanaged, is misrun. So ngabaisa nishi, they want to capitalize on our foolishness to take something. That's it. Investors and therefore alefo kusenda. And they do. They take and take and take and take and we just sleep. We just sleep. We just sleep like we are bewitched. That we don't think. We don't think. It's awful. It's very sad actually. When you think about it, it's that's a very sad thing. But Guy Scott was born in Zambia. His allegiance is to Zambia. Those foreigners, their allegiance is to their own countries. So Guy Scott was a Zambian. He's a born Zambian citizen. So pakuya ingira party yakwa Sata aisa mwana this guy if we did this, we could really do something good for our country. He joined him. And Guy Scott was all over Zambia. Spending privilege is money. All over Zambia. So, in 2006, they contested for elections. Why did you guys not vote for the PF then? Go on for takulima numbers. Takulima numbers. Kapati takulima numbers. You don't even know what you're talking about. What do you mean takulima numbers? They don't have followers. They don't have followers because you're not following them. Have you looked at what they stand for? Have you looked at what they stand for? Have you compared who can do a better job? These guys or the incumbent government? Have you? No, you have not. Have you put those two people together, the incumbent and the opposition, have you put them together in a debate to hear what they are going to do for you when you vote them into power? These things should start happening in our country. I'm starting with a PF in 2006 because I'm headed somewhere with this. These things should start happening in the country. Even 5 times. I'm a debates. Limoyabela kona ku Livingstone, imoyabela ku Northern Province, imoyabela ku Copper Belt Province, imoyabela ku Southern Province, imoyabela ku Central Province. I'm a debates. With tough questions for these people. What are you going to do for Zambia? How are you going to change? How are you going to lift the poor out of poverty? How are you going to raise the poverty line? But no, tamuni numbers. You have card I'm opportunities. But the abantu now quite a vision and all that. And because they are young, they have not been influenced by anybody. You see what I mean? I want you to listen carefully to what I'm saying here. They have not been influenced by anybody. So come 2008, you don't want to watch ISAF. My by-elections, I believe those were by-elections. They were by-elections at that time, because that's when Rupiah Banda came on, and he went from 2008 to 2011. They were by-elections. What if Rupiah Banda? Sata loses. Why? No, I mean, tobacco numbers. So now you think, you people, the entire country, their countries, there's such huge population of people that think that way. You are basing your judgment at Tamulima numbers. You haven't looked, can this be an opportunity to bring somebody who can do better? No. You haven't looked at what they stand for. You don't ask any questions. It's very sad when you think about it. It's very sad. Because I say that because our country dies. Every time our country dies. And as our country dies, our future generations have nothing. Really. We might as well stop having children. Excuse me. Seriously, we might as well, pack our stuff and stop having kids. Because you don't want to bring children, into a country that is going to be so terrible to live in that they won't survive. That they wonder what happened, why am I here? By thinking this way, by not taking your right to vote seriously, by not utilizing your right to vote seriously, that's what you are doing to the people that come after you, to your descendants. That's what you are doing. I'm serious, guys. You think about these things first. Think seriously. You want to have children, but you don't think about what you are doing when you have to vote. It doesn't take much to think, even talk to other people. What does this mean? These people are saying this. These people are saying this. Which is better? And one of the most important things is that one of the reasons, because that's easy to do. You can say, compare, okay, who's saying what, right? Who is saying what? But there's another component you have to look at. There's a big party here. There is the PF 2008. Fairly small, right? So because you have not looked at what they stand for. So you don't vote for them. You vote for Rupiah Banda. Rupiah Banda ama fekwinda nindeke. Ayuku. Kulidapo. The guy never spent any time in the country. Ayafyuku. Ayafyuku. Ugo na bakole wale musundira mundu. So, you vote for that party. Now, I want you to understand something, why I'm talking about the PF. This is the reason I'm talking about the PF. Because the PF at that time was not corrupted. You are not thinking, when you are making these decisions, you have to factor that in. You have to think about that. A smaller party, they are not in any desperation. They want to simply, the only tool they have to get into government is selling their message. They want to sell you their message so you can see the value in it. And based on that, give them your vote. That's what they want to do. They want to sell their message to you. We are going to put more money in your pocket. What does it mean? It was a very practical idea. In fact, it was crafted by Severed Chimba. It was a very practical idea. Put money in your pocket, meaning scrap off your individual taxes. Therefore, you have more money in your pockets. More money in your pockets. If you have more money in your pockets, it means you are going to buy more stuff. You understand? You are going to buy more stuff if you have more money in your pockets. And because you buy more stuff, someone is going to have to make more stuff so they can sell you more stuff because you are buying more stuff, right? And if they sell you more stuff, it means they need to make more stuff, which means they need to hire more people to help them make more stuff, right? And when they make that more stuff, those employees, all those additional employees are going to have more money. And they have more money in their pockets because the government is not taking as much tax from them. And now you have more consumers. More consumers means there has to come up, other people have to start making stuff. This is how the economy starts to grow. Industry starts. Production in the country begins to pick up. GDP begins to grow. That's why. That was the whole idea of more money in your pockets. You following? That's what it means. So, not only do you benefit because you have more money in your pocket, the government then, because the government can tax businesses. There are now more businesses because there's more consumption in the country. There are more businesses and the government taxes the profits of businesses. That's how it works. It taxes. That was the whole idea. It was sound, and it was crafted by Severed Chimba. The Severed Chimba that's right now the president of the UPP. This is the one who crafted that, the PF manifesto. And so in 2000, it's a nascent party at that time. So because mulevota fikwa tamulepisha mo penso pakuvota. Tamulepiturukia mo penso pakuvota. You vote, okay, nirupia band. No basis whatsoever. There's not been any debate. There's not been nothing. You have not listened to what the PF stands for. You don't know what Rupia Banda stands for. What he wants to do, continue with the MMD and all that stuff. No, you don't. So what happens now? 2011 So by that time now, Basata is growing desperate. If I don't win in 2011, I can't do this anymore. I'm an old man. I can't do this anymore. He started to get desperate. So he has to expand his operations, go to more districts and campaign and all that stuff. Do you think that's cheap? No, seriously, guys, seriously, fellow citizens, I want you to think about this. Do you think it's cheap? Because, think about it. In Zambia, we don't donate to political parties. We do not donate to political parties in Zambia. Political parties do not even come to you for fundraising. If they come to you for fundraising, they won't get anything. They don't come to you for fundraising. In other countries, more progressive countries, parties fundraise. They are funded by their supporters. In the United States, the Democrat Party, they are always sending people emails. Donate, please donate $5, whatever you can. Please donate $1, $2, $5, $10, anything. And they raise millions of dollars. The entire party is not supported by anything else but the donations of people. Even when they are in government, they do not use, it's almost taboo. They do not touch public money. It's all the money that that donated money. It's all the money that is donated by the people to the party. You know, in Zambia, we don't do that. Go to other countries, they do that. Australia, they do that. In Zambia, we don't find that. So, do you think certain guys got going all over now, mobilize? They have to mobilize these structures in Shangombo, in Lunga, in Nakonde, and all these structures have to come together. Do you think it's cheap? No, it is not cheap. Now, where do you think the money comes from? Where do you think they get the money from to build such a thing? This is a very key point on how we kill our country. What I'm going to tell you right now is how we Zambians kill our country. We can choose to look at this party's manifesto when they are young and they are not corrupted. You say, what can they do for us? And if you believe that these people can do this is something we want to happen to our country, then you can give them your vote for free. There is no other criteria. The size of the party is irrelevant. Nobody will stand in your way and say you can't vote for this party because it's too small. No. There's no one who ever do that to you. If you decide this is progressive, tell someone else for free. If you tell somebody else for free, it means that's one less person, and they buy into your message. It means that's one less person that Guy Scott has to travel with his Land Rover or whatever vehicle, travel to Nakonde to bring that message. You be the agent of what you believe in. If you believe that party is going to do something, why don't you be the agent of disseminating that message? Then if someone else buys into it, they become the agent. If somebody else, then they influence other people. That's how it grows. But Amazamia to Wafiat. Their plan is really good. This is progressive. Yeah, wow. Good luck to you guys. I wish them luck. You wish them luck. You must wish yourself luck. I want you to think about something. You don't say, I wish them luck, because that reflects. Do you know what that reflects? Do you know what kind of mentality that is? Because that also reflects another part of our mindset in Zambia. You say, I wish them luck. It looks good. Good luck. Good luck. Really, I wish you guys good luck. Good luck for what? Because ule tonton kanyati. Bale fo kuingira government kuya mkulilapo. Amen. Umwaishi bati government kuya mkulilapo. That's where that comes from. You only say that because you think when people enter government, it's to get rich. It's to enrich themselves. Yeah, you are even brainwashed to think that way. So that you wish a politician good luck, but you don't do anything about it. Say, good luck. You have a very good, wow, you have a great vision. Good luck. No, good luck. I wish you all the best. No, it's, you know what? That's a good vision. Guys, hey, have you seen the PF vision? Oh, no, I haven't heard of it. You need to read. I think we'll meet up. We'll meet up this afternoon. I'll bring it to you. We'll come and talk about it. Talk to somebody else. Spread the message. That person sees the value in it. Who talk to another person. See the value. It doesn't have to be expensive. But once you say good luck, it means now you are leaving Barabantu Arapangile PF. And I'm talking about PF right now because I'm not fond of PF right now. Trust me. But I'm trying to guys, to share with you, to get you to think about why we fail our country. During that time, 2008, 2009, you don't contribute. If SATA, let's say, came every month and said, just give me one kwacha a month. This month, one kwacha. You see, it takes one kwacha from 4 million people. That's 4 million kwacha. The next month, it's one kwacha. One kwacha is not much. You can say, okay, one kwacha. He takes one kwacha from another 4 million people. And the next month, that's 4 million kwacha. The next month, another 4 million kwacha. The next month, another 4 million kwacha. By the time 3 years, 2008 to 2011 to 2008, that's 36 months of 4 million kwachas. You see? You funded the party. So, what happens then in 2008? Did you do that? No. So what happens? The old man is getting tired. Once they are getting tired, we have been at this for a while now. You know, the man wants to be president. Okay, what's going to happen? What's going to happen? You know, they become desperate. So now, and there are entities around that begins to see, okay, Uyumunduyu, he almost won here. He's likely to win the next election. You see what happens now? So now you begin to see opportunists from within the MMD, from UNIP, all those thieves that stole during privatization start to come with millions. Mr. Sad, of $10 million. 10 million. The guy looks at it, he can't refuse. $10 million is essentially that person is buying a stake in the PF. Once all these people, they come in with money. All the external entities, including even some international companies, they come in. They say, here's the money to mobilize nationwide. Now it becomes sprawling nationwide now. PF all over the place. That's a lot of money. It can't come from two people. It can't come from Guy Scott and Sada. That's special interests coming in, buying interests in the party. So if those people come in and buy those interests, who do you think the party's allegiance is going to be directed at? The allegiance of that party is not going to be to the citizens. The allegiance of that party is going to be to essentially the stakeholders, which means these people that have come in, individuals, thieves that have come in and put their money in there, these foreign companies that have put money in there all the time, the party is hijacked. The party is now hijacked, regardless of what the president of that party thinks, is hijacked. This is exactly what happened to the PF. It is one reason. Those people, genuine members that were there when the party was being created and they believed in its cause, they believed in its agenda, they believed in its manifesto for the good that it would bring Zambia. They all become pushed to the side because of these people who had money. These are powerful people that come in with money. Money is power. They've pushed you to the side. It's the reason that Xavier Chishimba resigned in 2009. He told Mr. Sata, he said, in the letter, when you read it, it says, my conscience cannot allow me to be a part of institutionalized corruption. And he mentioned all these things, he mentioned all the bad elements that had come to take over the PF. PF is not what it used to be. PF is no longer the party of the people. That's what it says. He says in his letter, written in 2009. That's the party for which he wrote the manifesto. The idea of more money in your pockets. People didn't even understand fully what that meant. That it was practical. So PF got hijacked. That's how we destroy our country. So PF is now hijacked. So now you come to elections. The wind of change is blowing towards the PF. 2011 comes. Now all the people, don't you go ever, don't you go ever. PF is PF. Now it's putting PF. You are not looking at at that time there is other parties, smaller parties, FDD, I think, on all that stuff. All those have their manifestos and they are smaller and they're uncorrupted. That nobody who ever look at that, because all they're interested in is which party is likely to get rid of these guys. Right? But you forget that it is also practical, that you can look at the integrity of these other parties and say, this one has a good idea. This is not going to work for us. But this is something to learn. There's a party here. Can we look at this party? No, they don't even look at all the other parties. They don't look at it. We just want to get rid of this and we want to bring these in. They are entertaining. Don't you go ever, don't you go ever. They're entertaining. That's why you want to put them in. They're entertaining. You put them in. They have been corrupted. It's no longer the party that wanted to serve you. Now it's in there to save other people, to save external entities, to award contracts to foreigners. It's no longer about Zambia. It's about the foreigners. It's about the returning the thieves. These ministers get appointed, MMD ministers get appointed from MMD, all these parties. All those genuine members are sidelined. You have a party now that is no longer working for the people of Zambia. It's working for the looters. It's working for entities from foreign entities. That's what happens. So, this is what happens, guys. You don't look at people. We don't look at people. We just vote blindly. Basatabafwa. And this is really sad here. Basatabasa from 2014. Guy Scott. The constitution was clear. Guy Scott becomes vice president. He becomes vice president. There was some confusion there. Who's going to be the vice? No, Mr. Lungu left. Mr. Sata left Mr. Lungu in office, so he should be in office. Commotion arose among Zambians. He should be in office. Cabinet went and they did the right thing. The constitution says the vice president should become president, acting president right away. So Guy Scott becomes president. And Guy Scott knew he wanted to make a difference. And let me just tell you this. This is not saying this because of anything. It's because it's a fact. If Guy Scott had been president of Zambia, even for 1 year, Zambia would have seen a difference. Go on, vet. What's going on? I'm telling you. I'm telling you the truth. This is just a fact. If Guy Scott had been president of Zambia just for 1 year, you'd have seen what change would have happened to Zambia. My mom said, Guy Scott wanted to do the right thing. Let's go to a convention. He's following the constitution of the PF itself and the constitution of the republic. Because of greed, famous Zambians. Fyaima kwati fima shiru fya senda lungu. Fyaima pisha kule 40. Guy Scott is trying to preside over the thing as the vice president. Fyaima kwati fya voter. Wangu helicopter. The guy doesn't even know what's happening. There are these vouchers around him that are handling him. Wangu fyamwana helicopter. No koma injunctions. Na ba shitafa umako chitetuishima no kushima. They took him, they filed injunctions in the courts to stop Guy Scott from finishing a legal process. The Guy Scott knew who Edgar Chagwa-Lungu was. In fact, he removed him. He wanted to save Zambia from what is happening today. He removed him from the party. For that reason, he knew him. He got rid of him because he knew, no, Zambia can do better than this. He knew him. He was in the party with him. The man was, Guy Scott mindset was not typical Zambian. You know, differently. But definitely he was not thinking like the rest of the population. He knew, this is not good. I need to get rid of him. Won't say bye, but no, you go back to your country. You are telling your fellow Zambian to go back to your country. No, go back to your country. Why do you want to put this guy in office? No, he's the chosen one. He's the chosen one. But I think you know, sometimes I think the country, we need the sangomas to come and see what's wrong. You know. No, this guy is very humble. That was a very dangerous time because the fastest way to make enemies was to say Edgar Lungu was not fit to be president. I saw it. The very first words that he spoke came out of that mouth. The very first time that he spoke is when I knew there's nothing this guy can do for Zambia. This is a huge mistake. And I was on a social media campaign trying to educate fellow Zambians. Nothing. It was a done deal. It was the quickest way to make enemies. To speak against Edgar Lungu. Nothing. The guy says I have no vision. Doesn't matter. Guy Scott Nachimupeshana mano. The Guy Scott, I think Guy Scott just lost hope, and I think it hurt him real bad because he saw his country. Zambia is his country. He's not a foreigner. He's a Zambian. He's a true Zambian. And he saw his country do that. I want to know, community. The country had just been handed to a fool. A fool. You know. And here he sits back and sees, you know, you don't even think about it. Most Zambians, you don't even think about what that man wanted to do. He wanted to save us from what we're in right now. Still water run deep. Never be fooled again by a droopy face. Right now, you have the PF, and now you have the UPND. Now, I want you to go back to what I was telling you about the PF, starting in 2006. I want you to think about, bring that to what is happening now. How many people have jumped from the PF or from the MMD and all these rotten people that have been part of governments before that failed to do anything for Zambia. How many have jumped and they are in the UPND today? They are there in the UPND. Some of them were shedding blood, like William Banda. They were shedding blood when William Banda was a menace in the UPND, in the MMD, I'm sorry. That it was bad news. He was a terrorist. In fact, he was in the previous, I think he was also in, I think it might have been in UNIP too. As a seriously, a seriously contorted mind. He's sitting next to HH as his advisor. He's in the UPND. There are a bunch of people in the UPND. They are sitting there. The people I was telling you about that bring money, big money that they have stolen, your money that they have stolen. They come to buy shares because UPND, no matter how rich somebody may be, HH may claim to be, he cannot finance 5 elections of a huge party nationwide. No, he needs help. Those people bring in millions that they have taken from Zambian people. Millions. There may be other entities, foreign entities, getting, because he's desperate. This will be the 6th time. He's desperate. People, I want you to understand this. He's desperate. And since you have never donated a cent, have you donated Ngwe to the UPND? You raise your hand if you have. Have you donated Ngwe to the UPND? And if you are sitting there and you've never donated Ngwe, even 1 kwacha today, to the UPND, who do you think is funding all these huge structures across the country for UPND? Who do you think is funding all the campaigns for UPND? Do you think it's HH alone? Their interests, they are bringing in money. All these people that have jumped ship, they bring millions of money. Where they store it, the money has disappeared. Billions have disappeared from Zambia, have disappeared under the administration where they were. They were responsible for all this. They had oversight all these monies that were stolen. All these scandals. They bring the money into the UPND to fund it. We need to maximize our reach so we can win. And here is now UPND. Evo chikulira chipati muna chikula. No ma wonze bale jife UPND PF mleya. Because they got on there. PF were never funded by they were never funded by you, the Zambian citizens. You never funded PF. They were funded by somebody else and other individuals with interests in there. And they have been taking what they paid for. And then some. That's why the PF is a useless party. They cannot never do anything for you. Never. Mr. Lungu bali mwebele. Mr. Lungu, he stole money from a client. In any progressive country, that in itself is disqualifying because it's an ethical problem. It's a question of integrity on somebody. If that person can steal from a client, and then mwasa mubika pafindot, oh, mbwe, hey, all this stuff, and then on top of that, you give him the power to protect him. What do you think is going to happen? As of 2018, Forbes reports he's worth over $400 million. According to Forbes, because of holding top shares in top companies in Zambia and other undisclosed sources. $400 million from nothing over the period of the presidency, from nothing to, from virtually nothing to over $400 million worth more than 5 or 6 or 7 US presidents, excluding Donald Trump. Those presidents before Donald Trump, 6 or 7 of them put together. Obama is only worth about approximately $40 million. And that wealth is not accumulated from government contracts and stuff like that. No. It's accumulated after, most of it is accumulated from his best-selling book. And it's accumulated after most of it comes in after they become president in the United States, because they are paid significant amount of money for just giving talks as a former president of the United States. A lot of them get rich from that because they are paid a lot of money. They can be paid as much as $200,000 to go and give a talk. Seriously. That's how US presidents gain some wealth afterwards. And $40 million is very moderate. There's no mechanism in a country like the United States for a president to use corruption to steal money. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. The structure can't allow it. All these safeguards are built into the structure. That's what we need in Zambia. So this is why PF is not going to do anything for you, because it's not for you. It's not for the Zambian people. That's why. So now you are looking at the UPND. You are looking at the UPND now. With all these people who have jumped like chameleons. They are in there. They are congregating. And let me show you something real quick here. Sorry about that. Let me show you something real quick here. Let me get rid of this. This is Mr. I want to show you something, This is Shishimba Kambuli. Okay, let's listen to Shishimba Kambuli for a little bit here. I want to make a point. Let me see if I can get this work.
Where PF cadres can go on the streets without a police permit with pangas openly during the day in Frida on Saturday. And Police Commissioner Katanga is there. All the police officers are there. They cannot do anything. The person who took those PF cadres to Mufrila with pangas is very well known. He's a provincial chairman of PF and Bowman Lusam. And the police are not doing anything. Donors, the international community, where are you to allow Zambia to degenerate into a banana republic just because of one man called Edgar Lungu? Echo ndikushabushewele so Lungu wamfunishe kwi bishamunji chino chalo chakwata to have a president like Edgar Lungu, and we are watching. Amapanga elwali amkwepo ufi ukwali Western Province. No, the PF will not tolerate violence, and yet is allowing the provincial chairman and the minister to take buses and buses of cadres from all over the Coca Belt with pangas. If you have seen in the newspaper today.
I thought he was the anointed one.
President Edgar Lungu, Ishmutanda, Tashchela Mumo. There were powerful men here like Kaunda. Powerful men like Chumba, where are they? Presidential powers are not in perpetuity. They've got a beginning and an end. Bring this violence to an end. This misbehavior of PF cadres going to disrupt radio stations has come to an end. This country does not belong to PF. I was supposed to be on Mufrira radio on Saturday and Sunday. You send your police officers all over to stop me from going to the radio station because you don't want the opposition to be heard. Yama Mkachula. Mkachula Yama. Use your presidents to develop Zambia, not to intimidate others and allow anarchy in this beautiful country. God bless them. Just vote Lungu out. Let him go back to Chawama.
Okay, you heard that? Sounds very wise, doesn't it? Sounds very wise, doesn't it? Sure, sounds very wise. I'm about to make a point here. So, let's take a look. As of 2018, Mr. Chishimbaka Mbwili, the man you just heard speaking here, speaking like the voice of the people, who was in the government. Here is something that he did, that he said. He was the Minister of Communications at the time. Chishimbaka Mbwili tells Zambians, go and urinate in your tanks, in your vehicle tanks, if you don't like the fuel hikes that we just instituted. You know, this is on Zambia Reports, and this was today. By the way, today this is July. Today is July 18, 2020. This was just done. This was what we just watched here was just this Wednesday. This news headline here is on Zambia Reports, and this was October 3rd, 2018. And this was Chishimbaka Mbwili, the man you just listened to. Chief Government Spokesman, right, I'm reading right here. Chief Government Spokesman Chishimbaka Mbwili has asked Zambians who are complaining about government's fuel hikes to consider urinating in their fuel tanks to run their vehicles, adding that the government's decision is final. When interviewed by journalists over the scrapping of fuel subsidies that eventually have caused the current abrupt hike in the fuel prices, Dr. Kambwili said the nation has no money to sustain itself and needed the help of external financial donors and institutions to help resuscitate the economy. And here he is. On behalf of the government, I have to make it clear that the conditions under which we have been made to sign the IMF agreement are cruel and harsh, but the country has to move forward. One of the conditions are the scrapping of the fuel and electricity subsidies. Scrapping of fuel subsidies was effected by Energy Regulation Board, ERB, and last night the fuel prices went up by over 30%. We are still 30%. We are still working on electricity too, and in a few days' time, we might see electricity tariffs go up by 45%, Kambwili said. And essentially here, he was so arrogant at this time. He had power. He was storming media houses and shutting them down. He would, if he doesn't like what ZNBC is saying, he would storm ZNBC and cause chaos in there. He was a menace. This guy was a menace. And he's telling people here, go and urinate in your tanks if you don't like it. The government's decision is final. That was the man with power. He's in government. The days are numbered. Just like he's saying to Lungu right now, your days are numbered. His days were numbered. He got kicked out. He lost his looting stream. He came out and he changed. Started condemning Lungu. Lungu is a very corrupt person. Things that he could never say when he was in there. You just heard him here. This is the same man. He changed like a chameleon. But Zambians, please, we the citizens are, I don't know how to describe ourselves. Suddenly, this guy has become a hero. He's now a hero. He's now your voice. He's now somebody you can vote for to be president. He has a party. Everything that he was doing, well, barely 2 years ago, he's forgotten. He was not Kambwili. He was Chimbwili. That's what he was. And now, he's the man of the people. That is how, this is what kills our country. This is what kills the country. So let me get back to the UPND. Got that picture over there. All those people, all those in red. But while you are looking at that, why we are talking about this, I also want you to look at this picture right here. This picture right here. Guys, I want you to take a good look at this picture right here. These are Zambians. These are our fellow Zambians. Our mothers, our sisters, our children. This. Look at it very carefully. I put it here for a reason because I wanted you to take a very good look at this picture. This is a family right here in a country with billions upon billions worth of copper, gold, cobalt, zinc, emeralds, all this stuff, full of wealth. Does this family, do these fellow citizens right here, do these fellow citizens, I'm talking about these fellow citizens here, do they look like they live in such a country? Seriously. Do they look like they live in such a country to you? When I look at this picture, I feel sad because I feel so much love for these people. So much love. There's so many of them, no one person can make a difference. That's why you need government. That's why government takes your taxes. That's why we institute them in order to manage the wealth of our country, so that it's equally distributed, so that our mothers and sisters and little brothers and our kids, these right here, they can have a better life. They can know what a better life feels like. You know, look at this little one over here. She's just sitting like this. You know, I want you to have this picture in your mind while you decide what is going to happen to this country next year. Here is the UPND, and I want you to think about what I told you about the PF. Okay? I know this video has run a little long, but it's important. What I told you about the PF, 2006, 2008, what was happening, and why PF is what it is today. Now, I want you to look at the UPND. UPND has failed 5 times. Every time that it has failed, the urge to spread has grown. So more money has been required. That money did not come from you. None of it came from you. It came from somebody. I just want you to listen to me. Just please listen to me. That money came from you. I'm sorry. I don't want to insult you by saying it came from you. No, I don't mean to say that. I don't want to implicate you in anything. Let me just say I don't want to blame you for anything. Okay. Anyway, that's a joke. That money did not come from you, the citizens. Did not come from us, the citizens. I'm one of you. I'm one citizen. I have not funded the UPND. I never gave him a one kwacha. No. Never gave him one kwacha. And there's millions of us in Zambia. And we're trying to get these people into government. We never gave them a single one kwacha. Think very, very carefully. Think very, very carefully. I want you to understand, or at least think about how we ourselves doom our country. We doom our country and perpetuate this. Who said that we are condemned? Our brothers and sisters and mothers are condemned to living in these houses. Who said it? Essentially, by our actions, we say it. That some of us, 70% of us, are condemned to live in these houses. There. And there's nothing but beautiful spirits. It breaks my heart. It really breaks my heart. So I want you to think about it. So you didn't give any money to these guys. So who do you think funded them? If you think, wow, it's Hakainde, he's a very rich man. First, I want to tell you this. No one is rich enough to fund all these national campaigns. No one is rich enough. Donald Trump cannot fund more than one campaign. No one is rich enough to be funding campaign after campaign after campaign, national campaigns. No. He has help. They have infiltrated all these. I was telling you all these the William Banders of this was. They are in there. They stole money. They are Sylvia Masebo is in there. Stumbe Komsokotwane in there. Nalumango is in there. All these people are there. They are poised to take up new positions in the UPND. And once they do, and external entities you may not know, even in the Chinese may be in here. Mining companies may have contributed. Because we don't want these guys to come into government and raise our taxes. Or rescind our agreements that we have with this other government. You see what I'm telling you? It means at this stage, if you have not contributed anything, why should they owe you anything if you have not contributed to this movement? The only thing you are willing to do is to cast a vote to put them in power. Once you put them in power, they assume their positions. What has been left? They will appeal to your sensibilities for a few months with a witch hunt here, a witch hunt here. Oh, we are going to do this. Hakainde is working. Hakainde is working. Hakainde is working. Within a year, it will start dying down. Your excitement will start dying down. It will start dying down, and it will go back. We will go back to the usual. You will start complaining. The man you go, Jesus, he's an economist or something like that. He will have nothing to tell you. I'm telling you the truth. Which is why I'm telling you right now to do the right thing. You need to see what the UPND has become. The UPND may have started out to be a party for the people. Today, it's no longer a party for the people. It has reached this level because of funding from people. And I want you to know something. Whenever you see a party, besides everything that I've just said here is a good clue for you, all of us Zambians. Here is a good clue. You must understand what cadres are. Who are cadres? Why are these besides all these thieves that have stolen, that are looking to be ministers and all that stuff, you have all these cadres around the party. In many countries around the world, you don't find such people. Why are there cadres all over the place? And what do you think the cadres become? What happens to cadres when this party gets into government? You get what is called cadre deployment. Meaning, you simply appoint someone who's not qualified for a certain government position because they are a loyalist. They are a loyalist to the party, which means you can control them. Everything that they do is going to be, appeasing you. If it's a matter of a corrupt deal, they are going to be loyal to you. That's what cadre deployment is. Cadre employment, there's also the concept of cadre employment. Cadre employment, they employ these people in government positions somewhere where they are not even qualified, but they are loyal to the government. They put them in there, because those are positions that they need to control. You see what I'm saying? That's what happens to cadres. That's why you have the likes of Boma and Lusambo. That's why you have all these fools in the PF right now. Right now, the same thing. You are about to take the same thing back in there. That's exactly what you're about to do, people. This is not a joke. That's exactly what you are about to do again. And then you'll be stuck for another 10 years because the election at 5 years is very easy to rig. The election at five years is very easy to rig. So you can guarantee that they are going to be in there for 10 years. What will be left of Zambia? What will be left of Zambia? If you want to vote for people into office, you are looking. There are parties right now. What do they? I will just tell you this because this is what I believe. I have looked at manifestos of other parties. The very best of them all, the very best guidance for a party, the very best document that I've read is the UPP. The UPP. Mr. Xavier Chimba took the very dream that was destroyed when the PF got hijacked, and he formed his own party. And he established the same principles. Go to his, check him out, and you find it there. Removal of pay as you earn. The same concept. More money in your pockets. It's there. And you have not seen what a vision is until you read what the UPP has. The plan to rectify what is wrong with this country. And that plan includes dismantling the structures, all these structures, this UPND, the structures that they are banking to go on, they are going to assume these structures, the structures that facilitate corruption, all these structures, systems of government that in themselves are corrupt, that needs to be dismantled, taken apart, and the government rebuilt from scratch. They are going to go in there and they are going to be comfortable, and they are going to loot the resources of this country. It's only the UPP as a vision and a plan, and they do not allow these recycled politicians, to come in. They have a very strong policy. That's integrity. That's integrity and principle of operation. And their plan is to go in and dismantle the government structures and rebuild them and decentralize government power. Take it back to the people where we can have effective government at local level. So ministers do not ever see money again. That's what you should get. So if you really want Zambia to work that way, so that ministers no longer have any contract to deal with, the mining companies pay their fair share of up to 80% of the profits that they make in this country, which they pay in other countries. But because of our leadership inferiority complex, we have been taken advantages. So taken advantages, we look like fools. All the minerals flow out of this country without us retaining the value for it. Oil that comes out of Saudi Arabia, profits are taxed at 85%. Out of every 100 billion that they make, 85 billion remains in Saudi Arabia. Then the company takes 15 billion. A lot of money for a company. That's a lot of money. Whoever mines copper in Zambia and makes a profit of $10 billion, $8 billion must remain in Zambia. They take 1.5 billion, which is a lot of money for a company. Because why should that be? Why should that be like? Why should we tax that way? Because copper is ours. There are 18 million people in Zambia. If you come to mine copper and you make a profit of $10 billion, once you have removed copper from our land, our soil, it will never come back. Therefore, you are leaving 8.5 billion for the 18 million people that are in Zambia. You are just a company. You take 1.5 million. That's a lot of money. You see the sense? It makes perfect sense. Why they don't do it, our government don't do it, is corruption, it's inferiority complex. We need somebody strong in there. So I encourage you, before you take this mammoth of a party in there with all these gathered, I wanted to mention something to you. I was talking about a key indicator of trouble. A key indicator of trouble in any party. When you realize you're about to make a big mistake, when you first sign, when you see so many cadres, you must know you're about to make a big mistake. Because this government going in there, it is not going to satisfy or reward those cadres without using your resources. And they will not be interested in changing the system that facilitates corruption. Because if they do that, they tie their own hands. And there are many interests that would like to be rewarded for what they did. You see what I'm saying? So it is up to us, Zambians, to say which other party among these other parties can change this and end this system of corruption once and for all. And the only way that can happen is by dismantling the government the way we know it. The way we know it. The government, the way we know it, is not the way it's supposed to be. This is an imperialistic government. It places power in one man. It is not the way it's supposed to be. This is the government of our colonial masters, which is based on the constitution that we use up to today, which was created for us by the British, because we have never sat down to create our own constitution. So we follow the British document, which places the power in one man. So the whole thing has to be dismantled and recreated. The only party with a determination right now is the UPP. So think about what I've said and think about the UPP. This is not about what is the personality of this person. No, the personality of this. No, this one is more humble. No. Think about Zambia and think about, regardless of whether you like this guy or not, think about Zambia. If you think about Zambia, then it doesn't matter Seriously, it doesn't matter whether you personally like how he talks. It doesn't matter how he talks. It doesn't matter how he carries himself or something like that. What matters is what is he so determined to do? You have to ask that question. What is driving him so badly? What does he want to do? If you go back on Mr. Chishimba since 2009, you find that he's been extremely consistent on what he wants to do. He wants to do exactly what he said in that letter. He says these things are not too much for the Zambian people to ask for, to benefit from their own minerals, for a government to provide them the services that it should. These are not too much for citizens to ask for. And that message has consistently come out of his mouth every single year. It has consistently come out of this man's mouth. Up to today, he's still fighting for that message to reach people. But again, we Zambians, we are at it again. He doesn't have numbers. Oh, here in Akonde, this one doesn't have numbers. What do you mean he doesn't have numbers? You are the numbers. You look at what you want for Zambia to become. Look at Zambia. Don't look at anything else. Look at what you want Zambia to become. Does he have the plan that would change Zambia and turn it into what it should be? For your children, for your grandchildren, for your great-grandchildren. Does he have it? Does the UPND, what plan has the UPND told you they have to birth a new Zambia? What plan have they told you? They have not told you. They have not told you a plan. They simply tell you, we are going to end corruption. How do you end corruption? The MMD in its entire reign failed to end corruption. How are you going to end it? You haven't told the people how you are going to end it. The UPP has. They keep telling you how they are going to end the corruption. And it's a fact. The corruption in Zambia can only be ended by dismantling the government structures as they are prescribed in the constitution right now. Dismantle the whole thing, decentralize power, and put it in local governments. That's how you end corruption. Ministers who have no power over any contract. Government programs to be implemented in local governments where the people are and where the people can keep a close eye on the administration of their affairs. That's how you end corruption, people. And that's how you end corruption, and that's how you hold accountable anybody involved in corruption. To serious charges. You go to jail for corruption. That's the attitude. And that's the attitude that that's exactly what we need, people. We need umuntu mukali. We need umukali. We need umuntu wa kalipa pa fifi upwefile chika Mzambia. We need umuntu wa kalipa. Seriously, if you are not angry, you can't make a change. I would rather give Stephen Chishimba umuntu mukali you know and everything. If in Zambia is right. Puba, and I want to come to government and Ngapusho Puba is right. What is not right about that? Is right. Zambia, Alanda di Zambia, is it correct? Yes, he is. If everything is saying is correct and is vowing, he said, some government in Zambia. I want anybody who stole to be held accountable, and I want all the riches that have been stolen in Zambia to be brought back to the people of Zambia. Umuntu na ali kalipa no mutima. Ali kalipa no mutima. What do you think he's going to do when he gets in there? He's going to do just that. Because right now, he has not been corrupted by anybody. You see what I'm telling you? He has not been corrupted by anybody. Because of the way he speaks. Get over it. Think about Zambia. Think about Zambia before before you discount somebody who could make us a great country on this planet. Think about Zambia. That's my message to you. I hope we can engage some more. But I think I've gone 1 hour 25 minutes. I hope you guys listen. Think about Zambia. Think about this. Seriously, think about this. And then think about that congregation over there. That big congregation over there. All those people in red. Cadres, they are a bunch of thieves. Oh, geez. Wow, looks like it's going to happen. I think we may be in. We may get in. They can't wait. I'm telling you, they cannot wait. They can't wait. They can't wait. I'm telling you. It's not the party that you knew from 6 years ago or something like that. This is different. This is a mammoth that is going there to eat. To eat, and you are thinking about having children. What is the point of having children? You know. So they can have more kids and leave them. They'll be born in a country that is ruined, completely ruined. You know. Fellow citizens, those are my words for today. Remember, we are in Tanshi, Bantu. The progress of a country is in the hands of its people. You and me. Think seriously about what I've said tonight. Think this is we are at a crosshairs. This is the critical moment of our time. Think about the example that I made about doing the same thing over and over again. About Ukimbe Nyense. It's not funny. This is not a game. It is not a game. Think, we are here now. You are the coach. Are you going to change the way you play the game, or are you going to continue to play it the same way? It's up to you. It's up to you guys. It's really up to you. Up to all of us. All right. No, we are in Tanshi too. If you are like to follow these discourses, please you can subscribe to my channel. I'll be publishing more opinions. Can subscribe and activate the notification, so when I post a video you can be notified. But you can also leave me a comment. You can leave a comment down here in the comment section, and you can also leave a comment on my Facebook page, where this is going to be posted on my Facebook page. We are in Tanshi Bantu. So, fellow citizens, be well.